Hey, this is Matt Gallimore with United Country Blue Ridge Land and Auction, and we're getting ready to do a property tour where we're going to have several video clips of the property. And this is a really unique property. We have 90 acres over here in the edge of Giles County, and about 200 yards from the property we have the Appalachian Trail. So that's a hiking trail that goes all the way from Maine down to Georgia. It's 2,200 miles total. Also around this property you got the George Washington and the Jefferson National Forest. So this is all federal land around here, and you can look at the map and you can see how all that land it surrounds this property. And I don't know that I've ever seen a property quite like this before that has federal land that surrounds it. And in addition to that, like there's a portion, the property that immediately surrounds this property is about 15,000 acres of federal land, and it's just considered wilderness area that you really can't ever do anything with. There's no way to really get to it other than this property, and everything you see around us is that wilderness area that's restricted. It's just basically has to be kept natural, and you can't have motorized vehicles on it or anything like that. It just is to be kept in its natural state. So whoever buys this property is getting 15,000 acres. It's actually 15,100 acres of wilderness area around them. The two national forests and the Appalachian Trail right in front of it. Also have Johns Creek going right through the middle of the property. That's a native trout stream, got brook trout and native mountain trout in there. It'd be a perfect place to set up some cabins for an Airbnb, or just have your own recreational lodge or recreational retreat. You'll see behind me we've got a spring-fed pond in behind us, and then it just goes back out and drains into Johns Creek here. We have a 3,000 square foot log home. That home was built in about 1990. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, got a double garage and a couple of porches, and where that property sits, it's overlooking the pond, and all the property. Got some fields over here to this section, and we're going to include a drone video where you can get a better look at a lot of this stuff. But talking about grouse hunting, deer hunting, turkey hunting, fishing, ATV, horseback riding, hiking, you have it all. This is an outdoorsman paradise, what we're looking at. We have another spring up here past the pond, and then we're going to go back down and take some footage of the creek and take some pictures of the creek. We got about a 2,000 square foot metal shop building at the top where all the equipment and everything's kept. Pond, it has bass in it. Also has bluegill and some rainbow trout. So, and then then there's also it was originally built as a one-room cabin, and it was under construction back in 1944 during the Pearl Harbor attack. Anyway, it's a lot of history here. The owner has found a lot of arrowheads, so it's a really, really neat property. So if you have any questions, call me. My name's Matt Gallimore, 540-239-2585, or you can go to BlueRidgeLandandAuction.com. So where we're standing at on this portion of the property, the total property is 90 acres, but it has Johns Creek going all the way through it, and there's native mountain trout, there's brook trout, and then as you can see, this whole section through here and on the other side of the creek would just be awesome cabin spots. And again, we've talked about how you've got all the wilderness area in the national forest around the property and the Appalachian Trail, but this is just really it's an outdoorsman's paradise. You've got Johns Creek right here. We're going to try to fish it a little bit here in a minute, but it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous property. This is the mountain spring we had mentioned before. This comes right out of the mountain, and the owner measured the water temperature on this, and last July it was 55 degrees. So you can keep things out in here too, or at least they used to back in the day. But Anyway, I thought that was just a pretty neat fact about the property. So we have approximately about 15 arrowheads that have been found on this property, and the owner found all of them in the garden except for this one right here. He found that down the road in a culvert. But really interesting arrowhead. See, going to get a closer shot of that. And these were all found on the property. Pretty neat historical arrowheads here.